close and secure all possible entrances to your home. Switch off all lights. Do not look out of any windows. Do not respond to any knocks on your windows or doors until the all clear is given. Remain silent at all times.
It's like, this dude's too cool for long sentences.
He said the key words. He said,
streaming live around the world, this is Paper Cuts
We call it a poop bag.
with Brad and Jay.
Yeah, it's got a new show.
It came to you, like, basically straight from my brain.
We're not going to have those devil books in here.
We are live. And away we go. Welcome to another exciting episode of Paper Cuts. In fact, welcome to the final episode ever for Paper Cuts. I mean, it's been a fun ride, but I come to an end. Yes. Okay.
Jay, you're reading the script wrong, buddy.
Why?
It's not. It's the final episode of just this year. Not ever.
Seriously,
man.
we have to do more of these?
Yeah, we got to do more. You're locked in, man.
Jeez.
You can't break the contract.
Okay, well, so tonight, the final episode of the year, right?
There you go.
Is that what we're doing?
That's what we're doing. Yeah.
All right, so we can celebrate tonight. We can celebrate accomplishments for Paper Cuts. Take a look back at how it all started.
There are not very many accomplishments.
It is, okay.
This could be a short show.
We can reminisce about how it all started, how it happened. By the way, who better do that with than the one and only Meagan Lucas, who helped us kick things off in the very first episode. So it's like full circle.
Yeah.
Everyone. Writer of Slum vs. Stray Dogs, Meagan Lucas. With
Now,
an
Jay,
award sticker on it.
How much did you have to PayPal Megan and break her arm to get her to come back on the show again?
Yeah. Don't talk about that on air, man. My wife's listening, and she's going to wonder where that money went, right?
The check's been cashed a long time ago, right? Yeah. She had to make sure it cleared before she came back on.
But it's pretty cool. I mean, our very, very first guest is coming back for our very, very last show. I guess last show of the year. Now that you broke that news to me,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to break your feelings about that, Jay. You were so excited to be done.
Hey, this has been longer than the other show I talked about. Also joining us, this dude. We've been trying to get this dude on the show for a while, but he's so damn popular. He's been on everybody else's show for ages. But everyone was taking a week off. Apparently,
we lucked out.
Hey, Heidi.
Look at those beautiful covers.
Beautiful.
Look at them all. Look at them all. Look at all these.
Well, you have all of them. I only have 3 physical ones.
These are just the series he wrote. He's got more books than this.
Yeah. Daniel Barnett, everybody.
What's going on, Daniel?
Say hi, Daniel.
Hi, everyone. Nice to meet you, Megan.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to talk to everyone. Yeah, I know the other guys.
So, with all of the star power on the show tonight, Brad and I knew we couldn't handle it by ourselves, right? I mean, we're just two goof-offs with some show about books, basically. Yeah. So we decided to recruit someone to help us out with the show.
We had to call the real professional in.
Right. Someone much bigger, much more popular.
Much cooler.
And then when Nikki said she couldn't do it, and then Leslie said she was busy, and Christina said never again if you ever watch a Halloween show. Steve said, paper what? We found this channel over here called Plagued by Visions. Mm-hmm. Ooh, scary. Yeah. After some negotiations and a lot of licorice, we have Juan, everybody. Hello.
What's going on, Juan?
Hi. It's an honor to be here.
Really?
Thanks for joining.
How much did you pay him for that, Brad?
A lot, actually. My PayPal account is now in the negatives.
Yeah. So,
well, that's all I had to say tonight.
That's all I paid for. It was just that one snippet. That's all you get.
So let's start with Megan here. Megan, first question. With authoritarian governments in the Middle East, particularly in the regions of Arab core, largely remain resistant to the newer processes of democracy, and it's engulfed other parts of the world since, I want to say, the 70s. This period is associated with a third wave of democracy.
Is this going to turn into a math question?
Into like the Southern Europe in the mid 70s. So the question is, if two trains were leaving South Asia sometime in the late 80s, going opposite directions, but one's going 3 times faster than the other, what is the square root of the time they reach each other squared? I don't know if that's a real question or not.
Hi, Charlotte.
Megan's really good at math.
I was really excited there for a second because my bachelor's degree is in history, and I used to teach
Oh, there you go.
middle school social studies, and then it got all mathy.
I know. I almost screwed that totally up. Well, I did, but anywho.
Juan probably actually knows the real answer. He just doesn't want to tell us because I didn't pay for it.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like per word. What's the rate? $20 a word.
Yeah, about.
Yeah. So what's going on, everybody? Happy holidays! Thanks for joining us for this.
This mess. It's already a mess, Jay. We're barely 5 minutes in.
We
and
have to
it's a
top the
disaster.
Halloween show. That's the thing.
Well, hopefully you get slap happy here in about an hour because that was hilarious.
I've been up since I want to say 2:45, so we'll see what happens.
I don't know if any of you all watched the Halloween show, but he had face paint on. I think his skin couldn't breathe. He was losing oxygen, and he just was laughing over the dumbest thing that wasn't funny at all until he started giggling like a little girl.
I think. Hey, Michael Clark was laughing too. Just
he
for the
laughed.
record.
He laughed once.
He said he laughed like 2 minutes and then he gave up. So
he chuckled and then looked like he was just dumbfounded by what was going on.
You're trying to get me started early, aren't you? 6 minutes into
am.
the show, you're trying to get me started early. Yeah. All right, well, Brad, take it away. I'll just sit over here and be quiet like he wants to.
So what's everybody doing? Does everybody have any holiday plans or anything? Juan does, but he can't say.
That rate's gonna go up.
I actually don't. I usually just sit here and read. That's all I do.
See, that would be a nice holiday.
Yeah.
So you don't have any kids or anything? You have to do Christmas for or nothing?
Nope. Can't handle it. Can barely take care of myself.
Man, you just made him feel bad. So you're all alone this Christmas.
That's
right?
not what I said, Jay.
No
That's
kids,
what
no
you said.
family, nobody to come and check on you. Just you and reading and maybe
Juan can
watching
drive down
24 hours
and-
of Christmas Story. And
He can go visit the stinky plant he went to go visit that smells like a
right.
corpse.
Oh, she's already dead.
Oh, she did
Everybody
already?
I love is dead.
It's all gone now.
Yeah.
Your pumpkin you carved, she died. The plant's dead.
Yeah.
the books
My
he
friends
reads,
don't
most
last
of them
very long.
are like.
So was that plant? What was it called? The corpse flower? Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
How bad did it actually smell? Was it pretty nasty?
Yeah. Well, I compared it to when you, I don't know if this is a universal experience, but when you leave garbage out in the sun.
Oh yeah, yeah. In the summertime, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like garbagey, cabbagey, vegetal. I mean, I don't know if that's what a dead body smells like, but I would imagine it was pretty
It was close enough.
Yeah.
Well, I know all about the garbage out in the sun because neighbors here, inner city Columbus, they just leave their garbage can and never clean it, and they forget about it, and the garbage truck comes and dumps it into the truck, but 2 or 3
Half of it
bags fall
blows
out,
off.
and it's out in the street, and the sun's baking it. So,
But that's
Hey,
the neighbor's fault, not your fault, though.
this episode of Garbage Talks brought to you by Hefty.
It was just a cool video because the flower was massive. Because he put up a video. You drove like an hour or 2 hours to go see it that day because it bloomed out, right?
Yeah. It was a whole experience. Like I woke up, I had been keeping track of this flower basically that was going to bloom.
I thought we were still
Within a
talking about
couple of
garbage.
It's the corpse flower.
And-
Jay. It smells like garbage.
I know, but yeah.
Yeah. And I'd been sort of keeping tabs on it. Like, when is this going to bloom? And then it bloomed. And actually the night it bloomed, I woke up randomly like at 5 a.m. and it kind of felt like it was calling to me. And I was like, well, I'm awake. It bloomed. This is meant to be. So I drove out 2 hours to go smell it. And like this rare occasion, it only blooms once every like 7 or 8 years. So that was cool.
It's cool.
Yeah, I don't know how much more material we can get out of a flower.
Stretch it, stretch it.
We've only been here for 10 minutes. We got to make this last.
I mean, like the viewers went from like 12 down to 3. So
No, there's still 12 people here.
And Dave is here.
Dave Woodblather's here.
I gotta
So
say,
what-
I was really hoping to see Megan's ugly Christmas sweater, and like she shows up like she's at a rock concert or something. I mean, it's like,
Come on. I bought it just for you, you horror folks, with your.
I know, I
That
like
was so
it.
good.
I like it, but I was hoping for like really like red
here's
and
mine, I got-
green.
Baby Yoda on.
You were
Yeah.
hoping for Baby Yoda.
That's right. You
Like, I
Jay
wanted
was
the-
wanting something real tacky,
I did.
Like
I
his
mean, I
shirt.
wanted like
like his elf shirt.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was like I don't know if just Columbus ran out of ugly sweaters or what, but I mean, I looked for them today. My wife looked for them today. I couldn't even find a hat.
I went to Walmart today and found the exact same shirt you're wearing, Jay, but it was like 3X or 4XL.
Well,
So
that's
we
where I
could have
got
been
it.
we could have been twins, but it didn't fit.
Oh.
How cute would that have been if I just had this giant, huge baggy shirt on
wouldn't
and
have
that's
been.
Jay? It wouldn't have been. I'm sorry.
And Daniel said, "Screw it. He's just going to wear whatever." He didn't get the memo
I
about
didn't
it.
know there was a theme.
Yeah.
He did. He got it. He just didn't care, Jay. He's
Exactly.
a rebel.
It
And
didn't
you
say
just
anywhere
moved,
there was
right?
going to be a Christmas like dress code.
Yeah.
Daniel, what are your plans for Christmas since you just moved and everything?
This is the first one in years that I'm going to be with family, and same for my birthday too, which is actually the day after. So I'll actually get to see,
yeah?
or actually it's the first time I'm going to like not be alone, period, on those days in several years. So
See, Juan, there is hope for you yet.
Shut up, Jay.
What? No, I mean, I'm saying that with love. I mean,
You're so rude to our guests.
I'm sorry. He doesn't take it. Yeah. Go ahead, Daniel. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I didn't hear. I didn't hear what you said.
We're all tuned out at this point.
I don't know if I should.
Yeah,
like,
really.
I didn't know if I should pretend that I heard what you said. Or...
Just
Go for it.
Just do what I do. Just
keep
kind of
stretching
laugh
it.
along and shake your head and just keep moving on. That's what I do to him all the time.
It'll be nice. It's gonna be pretty quiet. I would imagine. It's kind of a quiet house these days, but it should be good. Maybe my friend will abduct me for a beer or something. At some point, who knows?
So your
You
birthday's the day after Christmas?
Yeah.
So did you always get the Christmas/birthday present?
Not from close family, but like there's definitely kind of a glued aspect that comes along with it all, for sure.
Yeah. 'Cause my daughter's birthday is on Tuesday, so she gets here's your birthday and your Christmas present.
Yeah,
mixed
I was going to
together
ask
from
that.
everybody.
I had that growing up too. Mine's on the 4th, but I was supposed to be, I guess, Christmas Eve. But I still got the, hey, here's your birthday/Christmas gift. I'm like,
Come on.
really? pick one or the other, you know? Here's your remote control car, and the batteries are for Christmas. What? Like, here's the new alarm clock, but the extension cord for it for Christmas. Like, come on.
Yeah,
You get one sock for your birthday and the other
I
sock
know.
for Christmas.
Exactly.
my birthday's also on December, and
There you go.
it was
All these
always
December
like
birthdays.
you get one or you get the other. And-
I know. It's like,
Oh
But my
God.
mom is like, we have to celebrate Mother's Day,
Mhm.
birthday, Grandparents' Day,
mhm.
Day of her Saint over here in Mexico, Christmas, New Year, and I'm like, why does she get like 80 holidays? And I go,
Right.
and I have to pick.
You have to. Yeah, you're getting both of them stuck together.
Yeah,
It's like, do you want your cake for your birthday? You want to maybe save it for Christmas? I'm like, I don't want fruit cake. Come on. Megan, how you doing today?
I'm well, thanks,
Everything
Jay.
good?
How? Yeah,
Okay.
it's good.
Good. It's a pleasure having you here. What
Oh,
do you
thank
have? What do you have planned for the holidays?
Well, I have two little ones.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter's 10 and my son is 8, and so that means we go full Christmas.
Right.
So we host my parents for breakfast and usually presents, except we just moved. And I don't know if you guys know how impossible it is to get furniture right now. So we don't have any furniture. So we're going to do breakfast and then head over to my folks for presents and dinner and such.
Nice. Do you all do the elf on the shelf for your kids or no?
We don't. My daughter is very suspicious. And
What's
By
that
the way,
elf doing over there?
We still do it. So just
still, oh
So,
God.
so do we. We do it.
She's-
too.
she's
My
not
kids
watching.
don't watch though.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
My oldest
So
is done. but
my
youngest
daughter is very suspicious, and so at about 5, she told me she knew who Santa was,
Oh, yeah.
and so since it's been less magical perhaps, but it makes tooth fairying a heck of a lot easier when you're not sneaking in and out of their rooms.
You just here's your money. Give me your tooth.
Yeah, exactly. Just like, or like, okay, well, I owe you $5. Like it's not. It's a lot easier for us,
like,
lazy parents.
Yeah, my oldest daughter, like she knew, but she allowed us to still do it without. It just strung us along, and then so we just had to talk with her, like all of them: Tooth Fairy, Easter Bunny, Santa Claus.
Fake.
Like it was like we thought like her world was going to crash, but she's like, I already knew this.
Yeah.
My youngest though, I think she's stringing us along too, but we're trying to get this one last year out of her. So
yeah. How old's your youngest?
8.
So my oldest is 6,
8.
and he still believes. The Tooth Fairy's funny because I stick the money under his pillow, and he's just like, he's so amazed in the mornings, like when there's money. He's like, I don't know, I couldn't even feel it going under the pillow. He's just like, his head's blown up.
That's cute.
So you have no furniture yet?
Well, we have like what was at the other house, but the new house is larger.
But I mean, it's not good enough for the new house, right?
Well, no, there's empty rooms.
All these new rooms.
There's new rooms, and so they're empty. And that's why I have this book cave behind me, which is not. I do not recommend this as a book storage solution. No, but
I haven't moved, and that's what my room looks like.
Yeah, no, like what you guys see in my videos and from this, I mean, it's nothing. I believe the bookshelves I've been waiting on.
You've been saying that since your channel started.
No, I have not.
Father-in-law was going to build you new bookshelves.
This past summer, I asked my wife's grandfather, and I mean, he had other projects, but I believe they're ready to go. So
maybe for Christmas/birthday.
So yeah, that's going to be your Christmas birthday present. You have to wait till next year because you haven't got them yet.
Well,
so
actually,
wait a whole year.
He made 2 of them, so maybe I'll get one for my birthday and one for Christmas. Yeah.
You'll just get the main like box, and you don't get the shelves again until next year.
Yeah, or the screws to hold it together.
There you go.
All right,
so
you
have some Christmas trivia?
I have some Christmas trivia. Because the Halloween trivia went over so well.
It was so good.
So I went ahead and did it again. Full force for you guys.
See if you can top what you did last time.
Yeah, let me find some stuff here. Are we giving anything away? Do we have anything to plug for these wonderful authors we have?
I don't know why I'm going to say this because everyone's already subscribed to Juan's channel, but they can go subscribe to Juan's channel.
I know he's got more than me and you together. Well, I mean, everybody's got more than me, obviously, but he has more than me and you together times 2, times 3,
maybe times 4 actually.
Times 4.
Yeah, times 4. He's a big, huge superstar.
Here's a math question for you, Megan. So if Brad has like 10 times the subscribers I have, and Juan's got like 15 times what Brad has, so how many times does that make him of mine?
Gosh.
What?
I know. She's like, damn it, Toby.
You promised no man.
I know. I apologize. She's never gonna come back. I'm sorry. So
I'm shocked she said she'd come back for the second episode, to be quite honest.
Dude, I'm the one to ask her. She said yes. I was like, are you shitting me? Seriously.
I thought he was messing with me. He was like, Megan said yes, like all caps and exclamation points. I was like, no, she didn't.
No, I sent messages to like random people. I was like, she said yes. They thought it was like one of those like Hayes jewelry or Jared jewelry things. Like she said yes. Yeah. So what kind of trivia you guys want? You want like Christmas movie trivia or just random Christmas stuff? Or
let's start with the movie trivia because that'll probably get you less slap happy than the geography stuff you're going to talk about in a minute.
Let's see. Well, that's just a lot of. Okay, here's some. Let's do. You want to have the discussion about is Die Hard a Christmas? No, I'm kidding.
It's absolutely a Christmas movie.
It is, but too many people get upset about that. So,
Juan, Daniel agree. What about you, Megan? Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
So I haven't seen Die Hard.
Oh my gosh.
Well, okay. Let's ask you this: what would you constitute as a Christmas movie? Does it have to take place during Christmas? Is Christmas the time of the year? Would there be a Santa Claus in it? Maybe a Christmas tree? If you saw all of that
taking place during Christmas, and it's obviously Christmas, then sure, it's Christmas movie.
So, is Home Alone a Christmas movie?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
for sure.
So picture Home Alone because it's got action, but
Okay.
it just happens to be with terrorists and guns.
But they kill people instead of just hit them in the head.
Okay, sure.
So
Lethal
Die Hard
Weapon,
is
Christmas movie.
There you
it's a
go.
Christmas movie. So
Yeah.
I don't know why it's been the lifelong debate of Die Hard, a Christmas movie. It's a Christmas movie. It takes place. They're celebrating Christmas in it. So okay, so let's wow, Juan's asleep over there. Let's go with let's go with my favorite Christmas movie of all time.
Yeah, what's that?
I think I was 5 when this came out. Let me do some. I was
so-
6. I was 6 when this came out. The Christmas
So
Story in
This is black and
1983.
white, right?
It was weird looking color. It wasn't like it was on a. I might have watched it on a black and white TV when I first saw it.
Which one is that? I always get them confused. Is that the one with the BB gun or no?
That's Ralphie and a BB gun.
Okay.
Came out
I
in
always get the movies mixed up.
1983. Which, by the way, that's the answer to the first question. So now I have to skip that.
You gave it. This is going over great, Jay. Do you need me to take over the trivia? You email it to me so you can not give away answers away.
Oh, jeez, it's Halloween all over.
Hans Gruber was a great villain. Did you know in the scene where they drop him, he didn't know they were going to drop him, and that was his true reaction, his face. They said
Yes.
they were going to count to 3, and they said
Spoiled
1,
the
and they
whole
dropped
movie.
him.
Oh, you ever seen it either?
No, I
wanna
have,
see
but
it.
you just spoiled the ending.
If
Oh,
you haven't seen
yeah.
Die Hard by now, Megan, I'm sorry. I spoiled it for you.
They dropped him into a pool.
Yeah.
He just took a little swim.
It's on Roku right now this month.
Was that another trivia question, Jay?
I have,
that
no,
one too?
I have no Die Hard trivia questions. I was going to open that.
Then why are we
for
talking
discussion.
about that?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. We had nothing.
It's the great debate of if it's a Christmas movie or not.
Look, we
Do
invited.
you have any Love Actually questions? Because that's the
No.
only Christmas movie that I like.
We invited 3
Really?
people,
You don't like any other
and we
Christmas
hope you
movies?
guys would bring something to the show.
I can talk at length about Love Actually if you'd like.
So that's your favorite Christmas movie. Juan, what's your
Yes.
favorite Christmas movie?
Yes.
Mine?
Yeah.
I'm actually Jewish. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I guess Home Alone.
Home
There
Alone.
you
That's
go.
a good one.
Yeah.
I watched the new Home Alone last night. It was awful.
Oh, I'm
Do
sure.
Disney
not
one?
recommend. Yes, the Disney one. It was atrocious.
Oh.
It didn't even make sense. Like the bad guys were not even like bad people. They were just trying to get something back they thought the kid stole from them the whole time. It was awful. Don't watch it.
Did it have any like stars in it? Anybody?
No, it did have what was the older brother's name from the original Home Alone? Spike, Buzz, something like that.
He was in it.
Buzz was in it as a cop.
That's a comeback right there.
Yeah. I was like, he looks awful familiar, and then later in the movie, he's like, yeah, my brother Kevin. So, but it was an awful movie. Don't watch it. What about you, Daniel?
I don't have
what's your favorite
anything
Christmas
from Love
movie?
Actually. I'm sorry. I fell.
Top of my head, Lethal Weapon. I have to say,
Lethal Weapon.
probably.
There you go.
Yeah, I
Nice.
grew up watching that one with my dad all the time.
I don't know. Jay, what about you? What's your favorite Christmas movie?
A Christmas Story
Christmas Story?
and National Lampoon's Christmas.
Yeah. I was going to let the kids watch that, and I watched like the first 10 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
nah, I don't think they're old enough for that yet.
Well, my oldest, my 12-year-old, she's starting to watch a few things, you know, and then we're having trouble remembering because you guys noticed, some of you noticed a story that I watched Friday the 13th when I was like 3 or something like that, but things were different back then. So now it's like she was watching like I think Poltergeist, and I couldn't remember anything bad about it until we started watching. I'm like, oh shoot, something's coming, you know. So now she's watching some of these movies that I've watched when I was younger, and I can't remember the bad stuff. So I'm just like, go ahead. If you have any
They
questions,
don't
come
make
and ask me.
movies the same as they did in the 80s. They were
I know.
no holds barred in the 80s for the kids'
Yeah.
movies.
All right, this is the longest intro to trivia ever. Jeez. Okay, let's do a little. So, Megan, you've never seen Christmas Story?
No.
Really?
Dang.
How?
So I have
Well-
really very religious parents, and so I haven't seen Star Wars. You know,
You're not missing anything with that.
anything
Shut
that
up,
came
Jay.
out in like the 80s or early 90s, you know, that I couldn't watch on my own, I haven't seen. So
That blows my mind.
I know it's a weird, like very strange cocktail party revelation when people are talking about something and you're just like,
Yeah.
So you
Well, I
just
mean,
didn't
welcome
have
to
any
the
desire
show.
to
That's
like
going to be a lot.
This is a show she will not show her parents that she's doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm more of a reader than a TV watcher, and
Right.
so I also I think have narcolepsy, and so I fall asleep within like a half an hour of
I used that excuse before, and my wife didn't buy it. I mean, she won't buy it. So
it's always fun when your wife picks out the movie, and then she's the one that falls asleep 5 minutes in, and you sit there and watch the rest of it anyway.
My husband is like sure that I've seen movies because he's seen them, and I'm like, I've probably seen the first 10 minutes of it. Yeah, the rest of it.
You're not missing anything with Star Wars. So don't believe the hype.
Okay.
Yeah, they killed Spock in episode 2.
Jokes.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi, Nikki.
Hi, Nikki.
All right, well, let's try some Christmas story trivia. Megan, I apologize.
Okay.
What was the name of Ralphie's younger brother? I'm giving it to you guys, or are we giving it to the chat?
Who's Ralphie?
What is this? This is great, guys. Hey, thanks for coming to the final episode of Paper Cuts, everybody.
Is that all we get?
It's a Christmas story. Have you seen it, Juan, where he sticks his tongue on the pole and gets stuck, and he wants a Red Ryder BB gun for Christmas, but he can't have it. He'll shoot his eye out.
Never seen it.
You're not missing much.
But it is better than Star Wars.
Oh, Jay.
I love that for your Christmas special, you invited like the 3 people that hate Christmas the most.
It was all by design, really.
What would Paper Cuts be if it was not a train wreck, Juan? This is what people have come to expect.
No, it's not. It's not so much a dislike of Christmas as it is a dislike of that movie.
Okay. Jay, what other kind of trivia you got over there, man?
Well, I got other stuff, but geez, we're a half hour into the show, man. You want me to go through everything right now?
Crystal said Randy.
Get it right?
Randy?
It is Randy, right?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yay, Crystal.
You go back up there. Are we doing this for the chat to give something away? Do we have anything to give away?
I don't have anything to give away, Jay. I'm broke. It's Christmas time.
I know.
I'll send him a book.
Juan will send him a book.
Yeah.
I have some books too.
Oh, Megan's got some books.
Yep. Only one, compared to Daniel's library.
Yeah, really.
Books, but
your one book is a very good book, I must say.
Thank you.
What about National Lampoon's Christmas? Anybody like that movie?
Never even heard of it.
Okay, Juan, so I got a question for you. You grew up in Mexico, right?
Yes.
How old were you when you moved to the States?
I was 11.
So when you grew up in Mexico, did you all do Christmas or did you do?
Well, Christmas in Mexico was more like going to church and then coming back home, praying.
So it wasn't like tree and presents under the tree or nothing like that?
There were decorations, yeah, but like I certainly didn't grow up with like the American media, like movies and shows and stuff. But in retro, I've been trying to catch up on.
Yeah.
I've been trying to brush up on my American culture, so I've seen some Christmas movies.
So the other trivia I have is just like an Americanized Christmas stuff. So you're not gonna. I'm sorry. We didn't really screen everyone beforehand. So.
Well,
you didn't
obviously,
check nationality. You didn't check
because I'm Canadian.
I know. What? But I thought you had dual.
No, I'm actually fully American now, but
Yes.
have only been for like 5 months.
So growing up in Canada, was Christmas different than what it is here? Or is it pretty much the same?
Yeah, I mean, well, we have American media in Canada, so it's a little similar, but it's definitely quieter and not quite as flashy.
Flashy's a nice way to put it.
Does it come with the extra drama?
Yeah. No. Well, Canadians are very reserved. So there's very little
apologize. They apologize all the time, is what Nikki says.
Yes.
And in fact, Nikki's in the chat apologizing she couldn't be here tonight.
That's right. She is.
So, yeah.
She's going to get on you in a minute.
I know. It's okay, though. It's okay. We could try the other trivia. Sorry,
Yeah.
Juan, man. I'm I still like you.
This is the way it's supposed to be, Jay. It's supposed to be a mess. That's what makes it.
I
If it worked out right, no one would care.
But I mean, some of these are just so easy. I was looking for some hard. I do have something different for a little bit later, but some of these are so easy. It's hard to find hard Christmas trivia. Does that make sense? I don't know.
Nope.
Okay, whatever. Which popular Christmas beverage is also called milk punch?
Well, that's what I'm drinking right here.
Eggnog.
The eggnog?
Eggnog.
Nobody knows what you're drinking right there. You could be drinking whiskey or something.
Well, I can't show it. I'll spill it on the computer.
It's not eggnog?
It is
It's
eggnog.
eggnog.
It's cinnamon eggnog.
Are we doing this? Are we keeping track of like we did for the Halloween show, or are we doing anything for the chat? Come on,
Well,
Brad. It's your show. Everybody
got a
says.
Oh, is this a question for the chat?
Did I ruin that, Jay?
No, I don't know. You tell me. I mean, it's your show, according to every person.
It's my show. I'll keep track.
So this is between those three, right? And Daniel, Megan, and Juan.
Oh, is it?
Okay.
We're not putting this
Well, we have nothing to give you.
to our folks.
Our budget's like zero. Okay.
Eggnog at Southern Comfort. Yeah. Put
There
some.
you go. What did the other reindeer not let Rudolph do because of his shiny red nose?
Play games.
Yeah.
For
One
real?
one from Megan, Brad. One
Does that count? Specifically, it should be reindeer games, right?
Oh, sorry.
It's not just any kind of games.
Dude,
They
she
weren't-
said yes
they weren't-
to be on the show. Are you really going to argue that?
They weren't playing Monopoly, James, or Jay. They were playing reindeer games.
Wait, does Rudolph have like a lore behind him? Like, is there?
It's part of the song.
Oh,
See, Rudolph is this alien reindeer, right?
are you trying to sing it, or are you?
You don't want me to sing it because the stream will shut down instantly if
Were
I
you
start
sing?
singing.
Well, we'll get a copyright strike, but were you singing?
Megan said she was going to do some carols in a minute, so
Oh, sure didn't.
Megan owes me one for my little series that just blew out of nowhere.
That's true. I have no boundaries, and so I said yes, but then I regretted it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We
That
should
was
all
good.
sing a Christmas carol. That would be cute.
we got five people.
If
We
you
can do like
start it, I'll whisper in.
I don't know any of them. Well, I know
can
some
sing
in
one,
Spanish.
but I don't know any.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear me sing. I'm too congested. It would be terrible.
that makes some
That's a
people
good
sound good. So
That's a good excuse, Daniel.
Wait, Jay, are you gonna have Daniel sing a Christmas carol on your channel?
yeah, like every guy I've asked so far for it, they all said no. I haven't asked Daniel yet, but every guy's.
Juan, you should sing one in Spanish for us.
But I do have I do have a treat coming from Kev Harrison and Brian Bowyer. They're going to provide something for that little.
Oh.
I'm excited for Brian's, whatever that's going to be. He's
Oh,
gonna
what?
play death metal Christmas music.
Screw Kev. What was that?
You're
You're not
gonna
excited for
I
blow
like
Kev?
Santa's
Kev.
head off with a shotgun.
I
Or
don't like
something?
Kev. Just Brian and Christmas just don't seem to go together that
Yeah.
well.
I think his is going to be the finale. So I mean, if everything works out right, his would be
Christmas with a cigarette. I don't know.
Yeah. So he's
Bottle of
killing
whiskey
Santa
is
Claus
correct,
at the
yeah.
end, is what it is.
possible. I don't know.
That's when he's singing. What is it? When my mama got ran over by reindeer, or grandma got ran over by reindeer, or whatever it
The
is.
fuck? Is that a thing?
He's not singing. I don't want to
Yeah,
get too
that's-
much because it's pretty.
That's
big.
a real
It's-
thing.
yeah.
Grandma what?
Got run over by a reindeer.
Yeah, grandma got ran over by reindeer. It's like a country song, I think, right? Is it country?
It's one of those.
We're just blowing Juan's mind tonight.
I know. So I mean, okay. So for those in the chat that don't know what we're talking about, Laurel Hightower actually was the brain behind this.
Juan's
Yeah.
getting slap happy.
So she mentioned that if she interacted with anybody in 2021, that she's going to sing Christmas carols to them. And so I called her out on it and said, "Okay, record it, and I'll put it on my channel." And she did. And she asked to add a charity to it. Well, Laurel turned into Sonora Taylor, who turned into Leah Lindemann, Tiffany Michelle Brown, and who else did I have in there? I have a handful of others just waiting
Did you
for
say L.
them.
Stevenson? Did you say
Yeah,
Lois
L.
yet?
Stevenson, who might be right there.
He did some ASMR one.
Exactly. Yeah, that one's freaking a lot of people out, which is pretty cool. And I have a handful of others. I'm just waiting for their Megan, waiting for their
Right.
video.
All of those people can really sing, though. Like
Megan's like, I cannot sing.
that is the part that's like amazing. That they they can really sing. That's lovely. I cannot. So.
Do you?
And that's why all the men have said no because they can't.
I know
sing.
exactly. Yeah, that's why they're doing a little something different. But
is Gremlins a Christmas movie?
I think
it takes place during Christmas. Yeah. Juan's like, that's my favorite.
That's yeah, for sure. That's my favorite.
I haven't watched that for ages. I don't have
the
any.
best part of Gremlins is that really fucked up monologue where she talks about how her dad got killed on Christmas. It's so long and dark and weird. Like
that's a real pick me up. That's like a pep speech.
Is that the one at the beginning they go to like the underground like Chinese little store and they get it? Is that the same movie or is that the other one?
That you're thinking of it. I'm not a big fan of Gremlins personally. I rewatched it recently, and it's just like the kids are such little shits. They're terrible. Even the main characters who you're supposed to root for, they're just like terrible, abusive little shits to poor like Mowgli or whatever his name is.
That's the '80s kind of movie vibe, though. That's just
like I tried to let my son watch that because like, oh, they're cute little gremlins, and they're like putting them in the microwave and blowing them up,
yeah.
blending them up in the blender, and they're like blood and guts are flying everywhere. I was like, I don't remember it being so violent from when I was a kid.
It's dark.
That's why it's Juan's favorite Christmas movie because they
Yeah.
put gremlins in the microwave.
Yeah, and in a blender and blowing
Like just that scene, I was like, oh, I got to turn this off. This is gonna traumatize him.
Look, Tim McGregor kids in the '80s were all shits. Yeah,
all of us.
Like most '80s movies, the kids were just downright shits. That's why I'm a little hesitant to let my kids watch it because I mean, they're going to turn into little shits. Other people probably think they already are, but still. All right, so I've totally lost what we were doing here, Brad. Take over your show, buddy. Your show's falling apart.
My show. So Juan, I'm going to ask you Christmas stuff, okay?
Why are you picking on me?
I have the trivia if we want to go through it.
So what? Feliz Navidad, does that mean Merry Christmas in Spanish?
Yes.
I don't know why, but I remember specifically from when I was really little, there was a Sesame Street episode, I guess it was a Christmas special, where they were all ice skating and they were singing Feliz Navidad. I don't know why. That just came into my head. That's really weird. But Big Bird looks super extremely creepy, and he's skating with this little girl around the ice rink, and they're singing that song.
Like the Muppets were? Or the
Sesame Street. So it was like Big Bird, Bert and Ernie, Cookie Monster, Oscar the Grouch. I bet you can find it on YouTube. I'm going to find it real quick. We're gonna play it. I'm sure you can't get copyright strike on that, can you?
You have to check the description.
Yeah. Isn't that owned by the Jim Henson Estate or something?
What's just a song?
I wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't do it?
No.
Hey, my video
But
that
it is your
debuted
channel.
tomorrow has a copyright claim on it, just so you know.
Oh yeah? What song is it?
Is it the way you already saw the opening to it? You know what it is.
Okay, I got you. I thought it was another Christmas like carol thing. I know what it is. It's the Bookish Festivus, Jay. Talk about that.
I know. I mean, you saw the intro and then you saw the opening. It's the opening. The song I used for the opening gave me a copyright claim, which is cool. I'll take one because
because you're doing it for the people.
Exactly. It's for the people.
That's a good question, Justin. His legs came out of the bottom of his trash can, which doesn't make any sense. Because then his head pokes out the top later on when they throw him down the stairs.
That's cute.
How did we get on Sesame Street? My God.
Because they were singing Feliz Navidad.
Dude, I mean, these three would never come back again because like you guys are going to talk about Sesame Street and
Jay, it's like culture we're talking about.
That's right. Sesame Street taught me to read, Jay, and that's why I'm here in the first place.
Do they not call Cookie Monster anymore? Is it just Cookie?
No, it's Cookie Monster.
Okay, I don't know where I heard that.
It was Michelle Obama wanted to change it to
Michelle Obama. I just heard Michelle Obama.
She really legitimately asked them to change his name to Vegetable Monster because cookies are unhealthy to kids. So she wanted him to be the vegetable monster, which you can't do that because that's someone's intellectual property. You can't just tell them to change the name of it. But there was an episode, because my son, he's like 1, so he watched it. There was an episode where he was talking about eating carrots and stuff. So I think that was their compromise. Cookie Monster also eats vegetables, but he's still the Cookie Monster.
Fascinating.
Dude, Daniel's like, I'm going back to Steve's channel.
Don't make him cough.
No, I'm just shaking my head at the idea of that. I kind of think that there are a few higher priorities on the list of things that are bad for kids
than changing Cookie Monster's name.
But
Well,
it's
yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say it's best of the year list time. Anybody doing a best of the year list? What are your favorite books of the year?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a couple.
What's your number one?
I think it's gonna be like a 3-way tie, to be honest.
Yeah.
So this is spoilers for my.
I had a 3-way tie last year
right now.
So.
I think it's gonna be The Last House on Needless Street, Betty, and The Only Good Indians are gonna be the three-way tie for number one.
Nice. I think The Only Good Indians is mine. Although I did read the first act of it last year, so it's kind of cheating, but who cares? Last House is probably like
you
number
just finished
4.
that one, didn't you?
The Last House on Needless? Yeah, I would put it probably like number 4.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nothing like a dig against it or anything. I mean, obviously, like that's
still number 4, so
it's like tremendous. It's like number 4 or 5. I haven't really factored it in yet. It's tremendous. I think like it's so wrapped around its twists that like my favorite books these days aren't just like twists.
Uh-huh.
Does that make sense? I mean, I'm not dissing it. Like there's so much good to The Last House on Needless Street. It's amazing, but it is a book where it's like it's wow, gotcha, bombshell moments are kind of the big thing, and sometimes I like a clear story these days.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Again, we're talking about we're like quibbling favorites. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. It's like
favorite.
Who the hell are we? My favorite of all time, number 1 this year is yada yada. Who cares? Who are you? I will say I have that one in my Amazon cart, hoping that people get a hint.
Okay, buy for you for Christmas, for your birthday / Christmas next year. I got you,
What?
Jay.
So I mean, my wife and I we make sure the kids are covered first. I mean, make sure the family's covered first, after the kids and all that stuff. So my wife's like, do you want the kids to just get you an Amazon card? You can buy your own books, or do you want certain ones so you can open? And it's just going to be really weird that my 8-year-old's going to hand me a gift of like a horror book, like Hayley Piper's Queen of Teeth or something. You know, that's just going to be really
vagina tentacles, and this is
that's just going to be really weird. So I mean, they're sitting there in the cart, and I'm like, we could just do a gift card or something. We'll do it that route. So
I'm the guy that people say, "What do you want for Christmas?" I don't know. I never know what I want until it's over. It's like, oh man, I should have got that instead, or asked for that. But Megan, what are your top books of the year?
Euphoria by Lily King. It's a little bit older. It didn't come out this year, but I read it this year. Undone Valley by William Solden.
I need to read it. I've got his collection.
You have to read him. He's amazing.
What's his collection called? I'm sure you know.
There's a bunch. He has a couple.
It's fairly new. Not his newest one, but the one before last.
There's Furrows, Lost in the Furrows, which I think is the second last one, and Houses Burning is the latest one. And there's one about, it's got light in the title, but it's totally gone. But you have to read William Solden. He's incredible. But Brad, you suggested Tender is the Flesh.
Yeah, that book's great.
And I bought it for my husband, and he ripped through it, and he's not a reader. And so nice. I was like, and then I ripped through it, and then we both.
I remember you posted I'm going to be a vegetarian now for a while.
So yeah, oh God, wow, that was a great book. But I also, Betty was great. I didn't like Needless Street because I think the same reason as Daniel, like I felt it relied too much on that twist at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But Stephen Graham Jones's amazing. I read Mongrels and Only Good Indians this year.
I'm reading Mongrels right now.
Oh, it's so good.
So good.
So good. I love how he takes the werewolf story and turns it really into a story about poverty and immigration, and it's fantastic. But also, if you're not reading Sean Cosby, S.A. Cosby, you need to be.
I have both of his, but I need to get into them.
Yeah, you need to get into them because they're.
That's like an end of story. Like I haven't got to it yet. So
yeah.
What about you, Juan? What's your tops for the year?
Well, are we doing like anything I read this year, or like books released this? Okay,
anything you read. It doesn't have to have come out this year. Just whatever your top ones you read this year.
Okay, because I haven't read any of the ones y'all are talking about. But I guess I really liked The Cement Garden by Ian McEwan. The Sluts by Dennis Cooper.
I want to read that one.
I've heard that one. I've heard a lot of people compare the Eric LaRocca book to that.
Yeah.
Things have gotten worse.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very similar. And what else? I read a Derek Raymond detective novel called The Devil's Home on Leave.
Well, that's a
like
cool title.
2 weeks ago.
That's a cool title.
And it was pretty impactful. I tend to read like kind of.
Juan reads the fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Well, that's not all I read, but it is.
I remember your comment. I forget. I don't know if I was being interviewed by Steve or what. Your comment was, "I read books by people that are dead, so they can't get mad at my reviews or anything."
For sure, it helps.
Yeah.
Well, you did Nonfiction November. Did you read an Aztec book, or it had Aztec in the title during Nonfiction November?
Yeah, I read some Native American memoirs and some philosophy of nihilism. So I keep it varied, but I mostly read. I'm gonna read this next week.
Slime. I've seen that cover before. Who's that one by?
This is by John Halkin. So
okay.
I like trash too. Don't get me wrong. I'll read pretty much anything.
Have you read Perfume by Suskind?
Yes, I have. Well, I read it when I was in high school, so I don't remember it very well. But
I love that book.
That's a pretty fucked up book, yeah.
Good.
What's
that one about? I've heard people talk about that one too.
You just gotta experience it, man. Pick it up.
It's just an experience.
It's so good. It's so. If I try, yeah.
Like you can't even explain it. That's how good it is. So write it down so we can.
Smells.
It's the sense of smell. Yeah.
We'll do a buddy read, Brad.
Is it horror or is it like?
Oh, it's horror.
It is okay.
But
well,
like
literary fiction,
yeah.
It's horror.
Okay. It is, yeah.
Do you not like literary fiction like that one?
Well, I think that when a book is like really good, like award worthy, suddenly all these award panels are like, let's not call it horror.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
the old classification.
But I'm like, it's horror.
Oh, totally. 1000%.
We'll do a buddy read, Brad.
Bret Easton Ellis, like American Psycho,
right?
Like that's horror. But
yeah,
Bret Easton Ellis is sort of being reassessed as like an important literary figure.
Mm-hmm.
So suddenly he's not horror, but but he is.
Anybody read Last Days by Brian Evanson?
Yeah.
I have not.
Oh man. That one's special.
Great. Have you read this, Brad? Jay?
I have not. No.
Daniel, what's that one about?
Okay, I can tell you about this one. It's about
making a list over here for us. So.
It's about an amputation cult. To ascend higher in the cult, you have to cut off more body parts.
That's the fuck.
But it's about a detective infiltrating them, and he's missing a hand, so he's automatically kind of like lower rank qualifies as a part of this. It's so fucked up and funny and dark, and just wait till like there's like a second cult that comes into play in the second half. Juan, have you read the author's note?
No, well, does this have it? Probably. Right?
Yeah, where he thanks Paul, his daughter's Paul, and his son Paul, and his agent Paul. And do you remember that?
No.
So this has to be really psychological cult, because at some point in time, these people aren't going to have any physical power over anybody because their arms and legs are going to be gone. Like they're not going to be able to physically do anything to anybody.
Well, I think like the highest rank in the highest member in the cult is like just a torso and a head. But
so it has to be all psychological, them brainwashing everybody. Then because it's not like they can go beat people up anymore because they don't have arms and legs.
It's wild too, and they have like some like cult snobbery going on as well, where like some people like cut off a finger, but other people cut off a hand, and obviously like the hand is like more significant than just losing a finger. Anyway, it's a trip, but yeah.
And it's now in my Amazon cart.
That sounds wild. I definitely need to pick that up.
It's wacky and violent.
Everyone's adding it to their
I know.
Reads.
Let me go ahead and put it in my Amazon cart. So my 12-year-old gives me that.
I like.
And the Paul thing, I think it's Paul. I think that's the name. But it'll be like the funniest thing ever once you've read it. It's so.
I just had a look. I just had a look at it. That looks hilarious.
Yeah, it's so funny because it's such a. I can't say any more without spoiling it. But
that's such a wild idea for a cult book. The higher you get, the more amputated you are. That's crazy.
He's
talented.
There
it is. Oh, ad.
Do you know, was that based on any like real cult, or is that all fictional? Do you know?
Brian Evanson, and I'm not going to say this as like he was inspired in any way, shape by this part of his upbringing, because I don't know. I'd have to read more about him. I know he grew up Mormon. He wrote another book called like Through the Curtain, which really heavily deals with his Mormon upbringing, and that was really kind of like
the open
and muddy and hard to like follow at times. Really heady. Last Days is a lot more straightforward, and it's not entirely straightforward, but yeah, he's super talented. I know he's got a bunch of short fiction that I need to read.
Yeah, he wrote this one, Father of Lies.
Okay.
This is one of the most infuriating books that I have ever read, and it's about abuse from church officials, and it gets like really sort of gritty and nasty and unflinching, and I guess that's kind of his style. He's a really amazing.
So it's nonfiction, or
no? It's fiction, but it's
inspired by.
Yeah.
So is it infuriating in a good way or a bad way?
In the worst, most soul crushing way possible.
In a girl next door kind of way.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's a good book, but it's about horrible stuff kind of way.
Yeah, it's a fantastic book, but yeah.
Anybody read You Love Me by Carolyn Kev? That was another one of mine.
No, I haven't read any of the You stuff yet.
Oh,
is the show any good? I know a lot of people are watching the show.
I mean, the first season's worth it. After that, they just start taking character names and like kind of doing their own thing with them. So that's really only like very peripherally tied to the plot lines that the books explore.
I think I started the first book and I got annoyed with it, just the tone of it, just the because it was like the inner dialogue of the guy, right?
Yeah,
You're supposed to be rooting for what's essentially the bad guy, right?
Right, but it comes off. I got annoyed. It just seemed very whiny and needy, and maybe that's what it was supposed to have been, but like it irritated me to a point where I'm like, screw it. Maybe I'll pick it up years later, but
it didn't hit me that way.
I know it got so big and popular. I don't know. I'm usually wary of stuff like that where it gets so big, like everyone's talking about it. Like, is it really as good as everybody says?
Right.
I'll probably eventually check it out.
It is. Her voice is amazing. I mean, like, she's incredible.
Have you read it's a trilogy, right? Have you read all of them?
Yeah, and I read the second and third this year. The second one was told in first person, and it was okay. I mean, it was like another 5-star read, but like it's like on a scale of 5 stars. The first and third were like another category higher. But
James wants to know about our worst.
I was going to ask that. I was going to wait for everybody to get done and then ask.
I'll go ahead and say Dead Inside by Chandler Morrison was my worst book of the year.
Did you
was
not
that this
like
year, Jay?
that?
I saw
it was atrocious. It was awful. Like I'll say, I liked his writing style, but it just felt like it was all just for shock value. Like, oh, let's.
Yeah, I won't even acknowledge that as a read, so I'm not. That's
see if
not
I can
even
just
mine.
top what I just did, and it was just. I know a lot of people really loved it. Like Priscilla, she liked it a lot. But for me, I was just like, I just did not care for it at all.
Yeah, that's as you can imagine. That's one that everybody tells me like you have to read it, and but then I sort of tune into a little bit to like what other people say about it. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't like it. So
yeah, it's one of those that if it, like Brad said, it seemed like it was coming off so much shock value, like trying to one up himself each time. If you took the same storyline, the same concept, but just changed the tone of it a little bit and made it seem like you weren't trying to one up your own writing, then it might have been, something a little bit more compelling and get you invested in more. But there's just nothing about it that just
like
grabs
his
you.
writing. I thought his writing was pretty good. It made me want to read another one of his books, but just the content I did not care for at all.
Okay.
Because I read his splatter western. I like that one pretty good, but Dead Inside I did not like at all.
Meagan, your worst of the year?
Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires.
You didn't like that one?
What?
I like that one a lot.
I hated it.
Oh
It's
no!
so good. I think that was my number 1 of last year.
Really? See, I've heard you either hate it or you love it.
Yeah, to me it was like gaslighting central. I wonder if it was written by a woman, if I would have felt different about it. But I think I struggled. I struggled. I just hated it.
Wasn't that,
I don't know if,
like, the point though? Like it was like half of the horror was the way the husbands.
Well, yeah.
The husbands were horrible people. Like they were made me so mad.
Yeah, the husbands were horrible.
I was just like, imagine like if I talked to my wife that way, you would never see me again. Brad's channel would just disappear off the internet. I'd be gone.
I guess I struggled with the intellect maybe of the main character. That like it was hard to root for her because she kind of just took everything. But yeah, I didn't enjoy it. I guess was expecting it to be scarier or something, and it read sort of beach read to me.
Yeah. I don't know if this is true or not, but I feel like I heard that he based maybe all sort of the group of moms together sort of based off his mom because she was a Southern book club mom kind of thing, but that might not be true. I don't know.
Well, I thought he got the Southern details like perfect. Like it definitely felt like Charleston. But yeah, I just didn't enjoy that.
So was the horror just light? Like it wasn't scary at all, or?
Yeah, I mean
it was very light.
It was super light, and the scary part really to me was more like how the main character was treated by her husband.
Because, see, I'm just wondering if that's just his horror style. Because I read "Resold Our Souls," and it was by Grady Hendrix. It's the rock band one.
Yeah.
And the horror in it was kind of light too. There wasn't any kind of really scary thing that really got me. I was more invested in the band and what they were actually sounding like than I was the supernatural aspects of it. So
that book was pretty cool too, I thought. But it definitely he's kind of like he's a little bit like Joe Hill in terms of like the way he like approaches like tone and character and stuff. They don't like match up entirely, but they both kind of have like a similar ear for humor, I think, and sometimes like subversion of expectations. And Grady Hendrix has a lot of social commentary too. I think his best is either Southern Book Club or My Best Friend's Exorcism. A lot of people think that's a lot of people's favorites.
That's the only one I've read by him. I really enjoyed it. Have you read that one, Juan?
The Southern Book Club?
Uh-huh.
No. A viewer sent me a copy, but I haven't read it. But
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's so good.
Probably should.
Well, according to Meagan, he probably shouldn't.
Well, I just
Well, I'll
tell
read
me
it and
why
then I'll make
she
my
was
mind.
so interested in him. That's the thing. Like, I just couldn't get over that. Like, she was so needy that even though she knows this guy is like really bad news, she keeps getting involved with him and like helping him. And so it's either she's just like stupid and incredibly naive. Or, I don't know. I struggled.
She's the one who, I mean, at the beginning she doesn't know. There's an allure there at the beginning. Once she knows that things are bad, she tries, like I would say, quite adamantly to shine a light on it. But then like the entirety of her like her Southern genteel sexist upbringing and her husband and like the threat of losing her family and all that stuff comes like crashing down on her with this stuff, and she certainly gives in to like not doing the right thing for a while, but then she's also the one that does the right thing eventually. I mean, it is frustrating, but it felt real. You know?
Did the scene when she's like, after she sees what she sees in the woods and she's walking down the street and a cop like pulls over and they're like, we got a call from a house, and she gets in the car with them and they stop like going to the house that called 911 and just like pick her up? Like, does that feel like there was just some weird stuff?
The call was from like the black neighborhood though, right? That they didn't care for anyway. No,
and so they like pick up a white woman on the side of the road and stop going to the 911 call. And I mean, maybe that's realistic, but it's
pretty accurate to me. I mean, because they
did play it up that no one like it would take like an hour or so for the cops to go to that neighborhood if they would even show up at all.
Yeah.
And then they just blame the family for anything that like any bad thing that might happen. They're just like, oh, look at the house, it's shitty.
Yeah.
That explains it.
What about you, Juan? What was your least favorite book of the year? He's like, which one should I choose?
Well, I don't read them. I think I kind of have a feel for like what I'll like and what I won't like. So
yeah,
I think I do that too. That's why I won't even acknowledge what Brad was talking about. I read that on a dare. So,
but I think there was this book called The Rue by Alan Baxter.
Oh yeah.
Which is about a killer kangaroo, and I
was like, killer
well, yeah.
The
so I was like, killer
kangaroo,
I'm down. That sounds fun, but it wasn't.
See, I think, and I know which one you're talking about because a lot of people liked it.
I've got that book. Yeah,
I think it was very meta, in a way that like he put a lot of his friends' names in it.
Yeah,
and if you didn't know that, then going into it blind like you did. I haven't read it yet, but I heard about it. Like, a lot of his friends were happy that they got killed in the book.
Yeah. So did he write it in like a train ride or something too? Like he wrote that book like.
Yeah.
The story behind it was he posted an article on Twitter about a kangaroo that was terrorizing some town in Australia, and then Keelan Patrick Burke mocked up the cover for it, this 80s horror paperback cover. And then he put it on there, and everyone's like, "Oh, you should actually write it. You should actually write it."
Yeah.
And so all the people that were kind of egging him on, he added all those people in as characters in the book.
Yeah, and it's funny that Jay, that you describe it like that, because I think in my review I actually said like it felt like an inside joke that I wasn't a part of. And
did you review it too? And
yeah, I did.
I gotta go back and watch it now.
I think it was in my June wrap up, maybe. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I get that feeling, like, it was very much about like being an inside joke. It was all kind of a joke, but I was like, it's not a very funny joke, and I also paid like actual money for it. So
Yeah.
But
see, you get a different feel when you put money down for it. You're like, it's not what I wanted.
Yeah,
it's not what I expected.
The cover looked cool though. I'll give it.
Yeah. Because I think all the money for it went to like an animal rights charity or something like that. There's a couple of those books he did.
Oh, well, I want it back.
Give me my money back, kangaroos. See, I haven't read it, but I'm curious how it would feel different because I know a lot of the people. Like, I know Sadie's in it and Pat's in it and a bunch of people.
You probably get a kick out of it if you're in the know.
It's going to come out that the money actually went to like a underground kangaroo boxing ring or something.
Jay, what's your least favorite book of the year?
See, I got to go back on Goodreads and look. It's probably going to be.
Was the book with black pages? Was that this year or last year?
Oh, jeez. That was early on with my channel. That was really early. What was the Philip K. Dick one that we were supposed to read for your?
Scanner Darkly.
Yeah, I guess that just sucked from the get go. I think.
Like a lot of those book club books, I did not like at all. Like I didn't like Scanner Darkly. I didn't really care for Requiem for a Dream. There's a few other ones I didn't really like either.
I didn't care for the actual book of the first one. What was the first one?
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah, Cuckoo's Nest.
So
I think
I
it's because the movie ruined it. The book for me. It was one of those situations where like I watched the movie before the book, and it just kind of ruined the book for me.
Yeah,
because
I like that book a lot.
Because you got a picture of the characters, and it was not the right picture. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Have you all read any of those books? One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest or Requiem for a Dream?
I didn't like the movie Requiem for a Dream either, so I never picked up the book.
It was so just slow, and just was like
the
this
book.
drug dealer's doing. Yeah, this drug dealer was. Is that the drug dealer one? I don't even remember. I'm getting Scanner Darkly mixed up because they're both about drug dealers.
Yeah.
Well, what does the drug dealer do?
Basically nothing the whole time.
That's Requiem for a Dream.
Okay. Yeah, that's the one with him and his buddy, and they keep selling it, and we're going to keep our money, but we keep selling it, and yeah. I didn't like either one of them.
Scanner Darkly was like the cop was just so deep into undercover, right? Like he was like super undercover.
He didn't know what his real reality was.
Yeah, but just the voice of it, I think, threw me off, and it just didn't work.
I will say that one was more interesting, to sort of going into the psyche of like someone that does that, like lives a double life, like has their real life and then like their undercover life, and which one is actually their real life? Is it the undercover cop that's infiltrated this drug thing, or is it the police officer that's the real one? I feel like actors would kind of do that kind of thing too. Like, is the real life these fake lives they're doing with all these characters, or is the Ben Affleck his personal life? Is that his real life?
Did they make a movie of Scanner Darkly?
Yeah,
is there a movie for that?
I believe so.
So I wonder if it's better than the book.
It's got Keanu Reeves in it.
Okay. Well. All right. Well, what's up next, Brad? Should we reminisce about paper cuts? Should we
if you want
tell
to.
everybody Merry Christmas?
I want to hear about that. So y'all started this year, right?
Paper cuts? Yeah. In what? I think it was June.
Was it June?
June. Yeah, June was our first official episode with Meagan on there.
So what was the?
So yeah, how did it all come together? Because it was like,
well, I was jealous because everyone else was doing lives. No, but I wanted to talk.
We did a bunch of shows, but we were like, hey, can we ask a question here? And
like, yeah, no. We were on with Nikki and we were on with Kelly, and it was usually. It'd be one guest, like we'd have one author on, and then
we love them, by the way.
We're not six, but yeah, it would be like 5 of us booktubers all talking to one author in like an hour and a half. So it was just bombarding questions on these people. I was like, I want to do that, but have it more laid back.
I'd ask them math questions. Is what I would do.
math questions. So I wanted to have Meagan on as a guest because when we were on with Nikki and Kelly, we'd have a group chat. They'd say, "Oh, we're having this author on. Would anybody like to come talk to them?" And so I did the same thing. Would anybody like to come talk to Meagan? And everyone said no. So I was real sad.
Obviously.
But Jay was the only one who had read the book. So I was like, "Jay, do you want to come on and we'll talk to Meagan?"
I wasn't the first choice. I was like,
I wasn't. No, he was the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
I was like, Jay's my last resort. I asked Kevin. Kevin couldn't make it.
He had to go back to Megan and make sure, hey, you know Jay's somewhat of an ass, a jerk. So are you fine with him being on there?
I know you agree to be on my channel, but this other guy's going to be on here. I don't know if you like him or not. We asked Jay to be on, and so we did that, and it sort of just steamrolled. Jay was like, let's turn it into a show. So, okay. And we came up with a bunch of different names, and we asked our wives what the best name was, and they both said paper cuts on both.
I think we had like 100 names between the two of us, and both of our wives said paper cuts sounded the best. So we had to go with it, right? That was like a contract. So, and now look at us now.
Was that real exciting information there?
I know. I think Juan fell asleep through it. I think he lost. He was like checking his texts and all that stuff. See, even James says Juan was falling asleep during that story.
I was
Way to go,
listening.
Yeah, so it sort of came about because we've done everybody else's shows, and I kind of wanted to do it on my channel and asked Jay to come in, and he just stuck around. I can't get rid of him now.
Look, you can't tell the story anymore. I'm going to make the story more exciting.
Okay.
It was a steaming hot summer day.
Oh man, was space erotica involved?
In this space erotica, get it right.
Yeah.
So in the summer of 2021, right? Never mind. His story's fine. We're done with it. So
Jay, what your collection? Are you still working on that? Jay's writing a collection of short stories, and he needs to write a space erotica story because that's like his shtick that he mentions every single episode. He asks authors if they write space erotica, so he needs to write a space erotica story. You should do it live on your channel. Write it live.
Okay, I'll do that. All right. Super. What now, Bradley?
Just making James laugh in the chat.
He is, isn't he?
That's the purpose of all this.
Gonna play a game?
What kind of game you got? This is gonna go over better than the trivia.
Look, I'm closing out the trivia right now. It's closed out. Let me find. Well, now I got to open back up what we had here. Christmas. Well, that's not it. All right. So these are horror Christmas movie game. Okay.
Can I play too?
Yeah. So what these are, you have to tell me if this is a real movie or not.
Okay.
And these are all Christmas related. Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. A Cadaver Christmas.
Fake.
Megan, Daniel, Juan, we've lost them all.
I don't understand the game. Cadaver Christmas is fake. What are we doing?
Is that a title?
Is that a real movie or is it a fake movie?
Okay, yeah, fake.
Fake.
I don't know. You horror people are fucked up, so probably that's probably a real movie.
It is a real movie.
Yeah.
It is a real movie.
Now I want to watch it.
Are you making a list? Because some of these are real.
And just to let you know, I don't know any of these, what she's
Check
talking
it
about.
twice.
So, yeah, check it twice.
A Christmas to Dismember.
That's totally a real movie.
Real.
Everybody's saying real?
Real.
It's a real one.
That one works too good to be not real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You come up with the title that good, you practically have to make the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Santa's head will roll.
Fake.
I'm gonna say real. Megan.
She said no.
No, I don't think that's real.
It's not a real one. I made that title up myself.
God, you faked me out, Jay.
Dismembering Christmas.
That's another. That's real.
Who said fake? One real, one fake.
Daniel and Juan think it's fake.
Okay.
I think it's real.
It's awful similar to the one like.
Is this another one you made up, Jay? You're trying to trick me here?
I'm not telling you that's the answer.
I'm gonna go no.
It is a real movie.
Yes.
Sack full of body parts.
What's that?
Fake.
Sack full of body parts.
Fake.
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 Yeah, it's a fake one.
Thank God.
Santa Claus.
That's real.
Real.
Oh, like claws?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely real.
Yeah.
Real.
It is.
That was one of the shirts they had at Walmart. It was a kitty cat.
I know it was. It was. Actually, we were looking for, me an ugly sweater. That's the one my wife found. She said, "Hey, Walmart's got one more down the road from us. Go get it. That's the only one they have." But I got this one instead. So
It was a cute little orange tabby cat with a Santa Claus hat.
Yeah. 12 Sleighs of Christmas.
Trolls. That's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably real.
Real.
Real? Everyone's saying real?
Yeah.
It is a real one. Now, I expect reviews of all of these, by the way.
I think Juan's actually writing them down.
I'll listen back.
Attack of the 50-Foot Elves.
That's fake.
Real.
Fake.
Fake.
It's fake.
Yeah. That reminds me of the Stephen Graham Jones book, Attack of the 50-Foot Indian.
What do you say? Was I really trying with the
sack full of body parts? Did you make that one up too, Jay?
Yeah. It's harder than what it sounds. Okay. Because I had a list
about that.
I had a list of Santa sack.
Santa sack?
Santa carries a sack with him of toys.
Most men do, I guess.
Is this a triple X Christmas movie, Jay, where you have to go in the back of the back to get that movie?
That's for after 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
I saw Mommy killing Santa Claus.
Real, I hope.
That's probably real.
Fake.
That sounds
That's
awesome.
Real. That's totally real.
Well, Jay didn't make it up because he's laughing at it as if it's
Actually, I made that one up. That one's a fake one.
He would laugh at his own joke.
He totally laughs at his own jokes all the time. You know Jay's comedy. He totally just gets look, he's tickled over his own joke again. It's about that time for you to get slap happy again.
Oh shoot. Okay, where are we at?
So was that the playoff of Reindeer Killed My Grandma? Was that what you're going for there? Huh?
That's a different song. I saw Mommy kiss. Mommy kissing.
I saw Mommy kissing
Santa
Claus.
Santa Claus. Okay.
But no, Juan's reaction. If he was drinking, he would have spit it out. That's. All holy shit claws.
That's fake.
Fake.
What is it?
Oh, holy shit claws.
Fake.
Yeah, I didn't make that one up though. That was just, I don't know, somebody else had that. I just wanted to say it. So
I think E. Edward Lauren, I think that was his Christmas book last year. Oh, holy shit.
Was it?
I think so. I think Beard came up with the title for it. Because he puts a poll on Twitter for you to vote which one's the best.
I want to give something away. We have anything to give away, Brad?
Megan says she's got books to give away. She's
Yeah,
got
I've got
book.
books.
Only one.
Oh, I only have one? I have a bunch. I have like 1,000 books.
She's going to give 1,000 books away.
Just give
Just
them all.
random book or your book?
Please get them out of my house.
Let me see. What do I have like 4 copies of my book. I don't know. I probably have other like arcs and stuff that I'll just like, send for shit, But I don't know what they are.
Look, just for the record, Book Bladder says he loves this game, so
I'm glad someone does, Jay.
I know. I am too. You hurt my feelings here.
So are you going to do a fake movie thing for the chat and whoever gets? How are you going to do that though?
I think I ran them all out. I ran out of all of them. I said all the ones.
Well, go pull your Christmas trivia back up since the chat actually likes Christmas and we don't. And the first person to answer the next Christmas trivia question can win a copy of Megan's
You want to
book.
make it a Christmas movie trivia question or just
Yeah, not from the one movie, just Christmas in general, because no one's watched the movie you're talking about.
I don't know how nobody's watched. Okay, let me just find a hard Christmas one here.
Yeah, I'll send them a surprise package.
Oh, there you go.
I've
That's
got
even
a
better.
few. I've got a few doubles around here that.
So make it a good one, Jay. If they're getting a whole package out of it.
Talk amongst yourselves while I look for one. I'll give you a topic. Be a math question.
Juan, you want to say something?
Well, he said talk amongst yourselves,
So we can just ignore Jay. We can talk about him now. He's not listening. The shirt he has on is atrocious looking. It was funny because
I saw a comment that was like, he looks more like a court jester than an elf.
Yeah. Which
Okay, here's one. Okay, shut up now. Here's one.
I'm going to finish the story really quick because before I forget, it's not even that long of a story. We do this whole Christmas episode, and Joe was like, "Yeah, we're going to wear ugly sweaters before we had any guests lined up or anything." And he texted me this morning. He's like, "I don't even have an ugly sweater." So like a month ago, he was talking about wearing ugly sweaters, and he didn't have one the whole entire time. So he ran out to Walmart today to buy this court jester shirt. He's like, I was gonna get one on Amazon, but they're $20.
Yeah, this was like $5. I'm not gonna put $20 in something I'm gonna wear one time.
So I just thought it was funny.
How cheap does that sound?
Jay wanted to wear ugly sweaters the whole time, but he never had one.
Okay. So, and everyone listening in the chat, I mean, obviously they have the internet to look it up real quick. And remember, there's a little bit of a lag there. In the song, The 12 Days of Christmas, how many gifts were given total?
It's a math question, Jay.
Because it's Megan's book. So how many gifts in total were given in the 12 Days of Christmas song?
So are you adding all the days together? Is that what the
Yes.
answer?
Yes.
So do you have to add like all the repeats? Because you do first day and you do first day and second day.
I don't know. It didn't go in that detail. Maybe you're just adding up.
So you do like 12 plus 11 plus 10 plus 9.
Yeah, but that don't seem like enough for the answer I have.
So it must be
It
the
must
whole
be
entire
reason
song then.
because you go up
Yeah.
and down.
Yeah, because on a
Do you start with 1 or you just start with 12? I don't remember.
did you
Start with-
did you
'cause
do it 12
repeat every
times?
time, yeah.
yeah.
That's hard.
So like on the second day, it's actually 3 gifts.
It's a 364.
It is.
Dang, he got that quick.
Well, he Googled it.
I guess. Or it's Christmas is only one day, so there's 364 days till Christmas.
Where you Googled it.
364 different gifts. So Rooftop gets it.
Crystal says
Oh,
78.
wait.
She's a little.
Yeah. Sorry.
You all right there?
Yeah, because it's the
Wait.
first day, and then you go first day
So
and
like,
second day.
Second day is
First
3
day, second day,
gifts,
third
really.
day.
And the third day is 6 gifts.
My brain did math for the first time in a while, and I was like, wow.
So you do first day 1, second day 2. So that's 3, and then you have repeats. So it's all the repeats together.
Yeah.
James, Google shows 364.
Yeah, exactly. All right,
So Rooftop, I'm going to put our email address on here, and you can email us your address, and we'll get that to Megan so she can send your gift out to you.
Awesome.
Yeah. Who is Rooftop? Do we know?
I don't know. Juan, do you know Rooftop? Since you have 14,000 more subscribers than I do.
I don't know him personally, but he
comments on your
watches
stuff.
my stuff.
That's okay, Megan. Just use a P.O. box.
I do that now.
I know. That's good.
Well, you only need shit to show up at your house a couple of times
Yeah.
before you start realizing that you're easy to find.
Exactly. Do we want to give away another one? Because I have a somewhat halfway decently hard question.
Oh yeah.
Sure, I got more stuff.
I mean, unless you're old like me, this is going to be a hard question. All right. What are we giving away? Another Songbirds?
Sure.
Okay.
And I'll throw in. I mean, I got lots of books. I'll throw in something else
Okay.
because they might not like songbirds, and
That's impossible. What was the first company that used Santa Claus in advertising? What was the first company that used Santa Claus in advertising? We should like password. What was the first company that used Santa Claus in advertising?
I've got a guess.
Me too.
Do. We're waiting for people to Google.
I'll put it in our private chat just so I can.
Oh yeah, we have private chat, don't we? Yeah. You're correct, sir.
Too.
That was what I was going to guess.
Fiber Artsy. Boom.
Yay!
There it is.
Boom.
Yay!
That's Crystal.
Cool.
If it makes you feel better, Megan, Crystal, I think has my address because I've sent her something before. So
Cool.
She's got my address too.
Well, I've seen Crystal around too.
Yeah.
So
I'm still alive. So for now, a little scary. Let's see. Do I have any halfway decent hard ones here? Any fans of The Nightmare Before Christmas?
Yeah, that movie's
Never seen
dope.
it.
Juan, I'm gonna make you a Christmas movie list, and same
Yeah.
for Megan because Megan hasn't seen any either.
We're going to corrupt two minds at once here.
Have you seen much of Tim Burton stuff?
I've seen Edward Scissorhands.
Have you seen his animated stuff like Coraline or what's his like Corpse Bride and all those kind of ones?
He didn't do Coraline. Sorry.
He didn't do Coraline. That's Neil Gaiman.
No.
That's right.
I haven't.
It looks a lot like what he would do.
It's the that little studio. They did Paranorman too.
Okay, Paranorman's really good.
Paranorman is one of my favorites. Oh, I got excited for that, didn't I? I'm sorry.
But he did do Corpse Bride.
Yeah, Corpse Bride's good.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'll try to find another one here.
Jingle All the Way. That's a movie. That's a
a
Christmas movie.
Is that the Arnold Schwarzenegger one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a new one I think on Disney Plus that's sort of like that, where they're just all beating each other up at the mall over a toy.
Hey, have you seen 8-Bit?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, is that it?
Oh,
I loved it. My wife and I sat there watching. Our kids laughed at us laughing so hard at it.
Was it funny?
It was it was funny for adults that grew up trying to get a Nintendo.
Yeah,
basically, and what you had to go through to get it. So
it reminds me of the Tickle Me Elmo when no one had Tickle Me Elmo and they were just beating each other up in the department stores over that.
Yeah, it was good. We sat laughed more than the kids. They laughed at us laughing at it. So
it's appropriate for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on Disney, I think. Right? So we saw HBO. Yeah.
Is it that? Okay.
Yeah, it was one of those days where my app was working on my TV. So. Okay, here's one. So we have something else to give away. Are we giving away all of those books behind Megan there? She's trying to make a space. I mean,
yeah, I have another copy of Songbirds. If you want.
It's the final. It's the final giveaway.
Megan
Jay.
is what you're getting.
Yeah.
Right.
She's
Media
the whole
mail
box
though. 'Cause,
Oh yeah. So you'll get it about 3 weeks after Christmas.
Yeah.
Maybe for your birthday. What are the two most popular names for Santa Claus? Aside from Santa Claus, obviously. What are the two most popular names? What are the two most
think I know
popular
again.
names for Santa Claus? while James is down there doing the Coca-Cola commercial, getting the world to sing in perfect harmony.
Do they still do the polar bears on those commercials, or they switch it up now? It used to always be the polar bears.
Yeah.
They drink Coke, and Santa drive by in his big semi truck delivering Pepsi. Sarah, get it right?
That is correct.
Yay!
Sarah, do we know Sarah? Hi, Sarah.
Nope.
Okay.
Old Saint Nick and Father Christmas. Maybe they have different names for him in the UK, though.
Possibly. We should have specified U.S. only.
So, Sarah, Megan, do you know Sarah?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So, are you guys gonna get these addresses for me?
If they send them to us, yeah,
Cool.
There's our email address there.
Cool.
And we've gotten some interesting emails lately.
Ooh.
We won't discuss that on the air, at least.
You can't talk about that here, Jay.
I know.
That's off-air Patreon exclusive stuff.
I know. No, we really should start a Patreon and
No,
release
we cannot.
the
No,
backstage stuff.
We can't do that, Jay. We'd be shut down real quick.
Yeah, we will. All right, so should we wind it up and say our season greetings and all that fun stuff? Because I'm out of trivia.
Well, I want Megan to tell people about Songbirds a little bit, since some people want it. Not everybody here has read it. Give us the brief rundown of your book, Megan, and then I want Daniel to do the same thing for his Nightmare.
Can we revisit that first episode a little bit?
You want to revisit it? You want to watch the promo clip from it? Look
Yeah.
how awful we were.
We haven't hit. We didn't hit puberty yet in that interview. Like our voice was cracking, and we were like,
let's see here,
super nervous. We had Stardom with us, and
pull it up. Can y'all see that?
Oh.
Ooh.
Fancy.
No audio. You didn't share the audio, did you? No audio, Brad.
Look so young, all of you.
Oh, we're babies.
Can you all hear it?
No.
No.
Oh, I don't know how to do that.
You got to hit share audio too.
Oh, that wasn't an option, Jay.
Yeah, it is. It's in there. That was professional right there.
It just says shares. Oh, there, share system audio. There we go.
Yeah.
It was an extra check mark.
Still
Good.
nothing.
No?
No. We're doing good.
Can you still not hear it?
No. No.
I don't know. It says share system audio, so I don't know what's going on then.
Yeah. Oh, well. But look, I didn't. My gosh. How long ago was this? What date was this?
It's in June.
Man, I got a lot more gray in 6 months.
As you've been stressed out doing this show. It was early June. It was June 5th.
Look how young you look. You must have trimmed
I had
up.
a haircut.
You trimmed up for the show.
Leslie always jokes she can tell it's the beginning of the month because I've got a shaved head again.
Yeah. Look, I like the shot you have there. Like Megan had to drink to get through the show, that first show. Yeah. I think she was nervous.
Was that your first ever live, Megan? I think it was, wasn't it?
I think it might have been. Yeah. You know, I've done quite a few podcasts, but I don't know that any of them have been live except for you guys.
Yeah. Now she's a rock star. She's like, yeah, I'm free. I'll do your show. You owe me big time.
Whatever.
Yeah. Professional.
Do you want me to tell these poor people about my book?
Tell us all about this book.
Please poor people about these books.
So I write Southern lit fic. It's about a young woman who finds herself in a bad situation that's made worse by a religious and closed-minded aunt, and she lives in Beaufort, South Carolina, and she takes off for the mountains of North Carolina, which is where I live. And in the process, she finds some foes and she finds some friends, and it's really about family, I think, and finding home, not necessarily with blood. And I've been so lucky that the horror community has embraced it, which is awesome. So I gotta tell you that my next book, my agent has told me that we are ready to start submitting in January, and so now I'm afraid that you guys are gonna like that one.
No, whatever.
That we're not going to like it?
Yeah, it's a Steel Magnolias kind of modernized a little bit. Although my agent does say that it feels like Betty a little bit.
Well, I love Betty, so I felt like yours felt like Betty a little bit too.
I was kind of on the fence with Betty, but no, I mean I think I gave it a 4 overall. It's just I had some issues with some pacing, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a thick book. And I don't write thick books, so
I read Betty still. I read her first.
Summer That Melted Everything.
Yeah. Did you like that one?
I got a lot of respect for her writing, but a lot of that book did not sit well with me.
Yeah.
I actually I talked about that with Juan a bunch on his channel not so long ago.
Meagan, how do you feel about the horror community embracing your book so much?
Oh, I love it. I was afraid when my first cover came out, it didn't have the red on it, and I was concerned that people were going to think it was like a book club book, and that then I was going to get a whole bunch of hate mail,
right?
Because it's gritty, and so I love that the horror community doesn't mind violence and death and realism, really. So it's been like this amazing surprise that and Rooftop talks about David Joy, and David actually lives about 45 minutes from me, and we know each other, and I would say that our books actually get reviewed together fairly.
If you like David Joy, you're going to like Megan's book.
Yeah.
I have David Joy on the horizon for 2022.
You for sure have to read The Line That Held Us.
Yeah.
That's
you tell me that one, and Brad, you keep telling me a different one.
Where All Light Tends to Go. That was my favorite one.
Oh, that's a great one too.
Yeah. But I know me and Brad have a buddy read of Donald Ray Pollock coming up, The Heavenly Table. Which, by the way, he lives like an hour from me, and we don't know each other. Just so you know. But The Devil All the Time was one of my favorite books.
Yeah, it was good.
Ever. So
that's a great book.
I have The Heavenly Table just staring at me. I think me and Brad are going to try to get to it like in March at some point. So,
well, you guys need to come to Western North Carolina because everybody knows everybody. So we're all in each other's business.
So if you ever want to send, I'm sure he doesn't even have a cell phone because he lives out in the woods. But if you want to send David like a carrier pigeon letter, it's like he should come on Paper Guts sometime. That'd be cool.
Okay. Yeah. He doesn't have good internet access at his
I know
place.
that when he's been on streams, he has to go somewhere else. So he can actually do it.
He has to do it from somebody else's house or the library or something. So.
Because I've watched one. He was on with S.A. Cosby, Sean. They were on together, and he was almost. It looked like a kind of a Starbucks or something. He was doing it.
Yeah.
Juan, have you read any of the a Southern Gritlit kind of stuff, like David Joy or Ron Rash or any of that kind of stuff?
Well, I like Southern Gothic a lot, but older works like William Faulkner, Flannery O'Connor. But I actually think I recommended Jay.
Yeah, it's in the cart. I'm gonna see which kid gets that for me.
Crapalacia.
Crapalacia, yeah.
Yeah.
By Scott McClanahan.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
and also I'm chipping in with Noah. Everyone who reads Must Converse, he's doing that Flannery January thing. So I'm doing some Flannery O'Connor with him to get that in there too. So
Megan, would you say if he likes those kind of books, do you think he'd like Songbirds? Because I haven't read much of what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Faulkner's in and so is Flannery. She's in a class of her own. But I love her and studied her in school, and so I would be flattering myself to compare myself to Flannery O'Connor. But I mean, it's that idea that there's darkness inside of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's lurking here in the South, hidden in, I think, in poverty and religion. And so I think, you know, we touch on that a lot in Songbirds and Stray Dogs.
And what didn't Josh send you Betty? Working Man Reads? Did he send you a copy of Betty? Yeah. So if you read Betty and like that, you'll like Megan's book.
Juan, you and Rooftop read The Heavenly Table?
Well, more like we were going to do a buddy read, and then he read it in like a day, and I was like, oh.
Really? Because it's thicker than Devil All the Time, I think.
It's a big book.
I know.
Did you read it, Juan, though? Did you finish it?
I did finish it. It was really good. Not my favorite, but it
Betty?
was
good.
The Heavenly Table.
The Heavenly
Donald
Table.
Ray Pollock.
Because I think it was Ross Jeffrey that told me he liked it better than the Devil All the Time, and I thought that was as near perfect that I've read in a long time. So
yeah, he said that was his favorite Donald Ray Pollock book is Heavenly Table. Juan, have you read Michael McDowell much? The Elementals and that kind of stuff?
No, I haven't. Did I read the Element? I don't think so. I haven't read.
You should read that. If you like Southern Gothic stuff, you should check that out.
He's the Beetlejuice guy. He's
Oh, there's Beard.
He's good. Hey man.
I think Beard's up in Indiana right now.
There he is. If you like Southern Gritlit, though, you have to read Bastard Out of Carolina by Dorothy Allison.
Yeah, I've had that one on my list for a while.
I feel like that's the book that changed my life. Like, made me that book and Wiley Cash's A Land More Kind Than Home. Like, I was like, oh yeah, I need to be a writer. I need to write those stories.
Do you like a lot of Wiley Cash? I've heard mixed things about him.
His first book is mind blowing to me, and then I wasn't as into the next three.
Okay.
But I mean, he's obviously like a very talented writer. I think he's maybe just trying to find his place. You know, the second book was similar to A Land More Kind in that it's just sort of, you know, Southern and a little bit gritty. And then the next one was highly about the labor movement. And then this last one is kind of thrillery, and that's just not my jam. So, yeah. But yeah, if you start with his first one, it's incredible.
Juan, what was Crapalacha about?
It's kind of a memoir about, you know, growing up in, I can't even remember what the region was. Was it West Virginia? I'm not sure, but growing up in poverty, it's kind of like, do you get the feel like, is he embellishing the truth a little bit, but it doesn't really matter with texts of that kind because it's kind of all coming from that cultural ecosystem. So it's more of a memoir. No.
Yeah. If you like that, I'd say check out Ron Rash and David Joy. Check out Megan's book.
I totally will. Yes.
Yeah. If you like that kind of idea with maybe like Rust Belt, like Cleveland, Youngstown, that's Bill Solden too.
Yeah, it was like his stuff's all in Ohio, isn't it?
Yeah, he's in Youngstown, and his work is I think reads real similar to Pollock. You know, that gritty working man type stuff.
Daniel, have you read very many of those kind of books?
David Joy's been on my radar for like too long, in the sense that I haven't read any of his work. I've been meaning to for a long time. And yours sounds great, Megan.
Thanks.
McDowell, you know, I'm a big fan of McDowell, from the Elementals to Blackwater.
I really want to read Blackwater.
Oh, so good. So I guess Southern Gothic has been where I've gone, and then I think you could probably, you know, classify a lot of like Lansdale, as some of it, you know, varying in terms of grit, but like Edge of Dark Water, then Dark Line to some extent.
Like the Happen Lunar stuff isn't really gritty, but it's that Southern kind of stuff. Some of it's gritty, but it's more comedy added in with the back and forth banter between them and stuff.
So I think like Edge of Dark Water, if you're willing to go back to like a Great Depression era, something or other. That one might
the thicket and the bottoms are really good.
Yeah, bottoms.
Daniel, tell us about your books for those.
Yeah, so I've got
not knowing about them.
4 published novels prior to the Nightmareland Chronicles, which is what I've been hard at work at. It's going to be 4 years in January. So the Nightmareland Chronicles is an ongoing adventure horror serialized epic following one man's journey to reach his estranged daughter in a world claimed by eternal night. And I'm having a lot of fun writing it. Covers by Daniel Sarah. He's a genius.
They're beautiful.
Is he going to be doing all of the covers?
That's my hope. And I did speak with him after Lily was the last one we had contracted, and I expressed my dearest wishes that he and I continue, and I'll reach out to him again when the time comes for the rest. And we'll see if we can make it happen.
So you're doing it in 2 6-book arcs.
Yeah.
So the first 6 books are done. So you're taking a break before you start the next one, or?
I'm hoping to start, early next year. I'm really wrapped up in the release for Lily, and there've been some pretty significant life changes on my part too. So I haven't had time to get into headspace to start the new one, but I do have to kind of mourn just Lily in general and the first half. There's a lot of big things happen in Lily, and it was a significant experience for me writing that one. It's much bigger than the others. It's 460 pages before the back matter.
Yeah, I saw that. I was
so
it's intimidating.
Yeah, I just kind of have to move. There's a kind of a new beginning for me to start the next part of the journey. So I have to get to a place where I'm ready for that, and I can see it in that way and feel it in that way. It won't be too long, I don't think, because I've already had a bit of a break. I'm getting there.
And I don't know if you can answer this because it might be spoilery. But is the second arc, is it following all new characters, or are we following the same people again?
Oh, it's just, it's a continuing story. It's not yeah, I'll say that. That's about all I can say.
We might find some of the people, we don't know.
It's a continuing story, following the same. There will be one arc going from 1 to 12 when it's all said and done. But the majority of character arcs, or not character arcs, but the majority of plot arcs that were established either in 1 and 2 or 3 or 4 and 5 get resolved in 6. So it's really the overarching journey is the thing that has yet to be resolved.
So Lily's more like a mid-season finale kind of thing instead of a whole new story.
I would say it is a season finale.
Okay.
Yeah. And in fact, actually, my agent, so we're doing this pitch deck as we're trying to get somebody to sign on for an adaptation. And initially the pitch deck was drawn such that books 1 through 5 were episodes 1 through 7, and then 8, 9, and 10 were for Lily. But as soon as she finished Lily, she was like, "Never mind. This is its whole season. This is a season by itself."
Nice.
So she was like, it's season 2. Period. Just full stop. There's so that was really cool to hear her say that. It's got a lot going on in that book for sure, and I'm very excited for people to read it.
If it were to land on a series or something, where would you want it to be? HBO, Netflix?
There's a lot of places that would be a dream come true. I'll just say that a lot of would be a dream come true. There have been, it's in front of a lot of really cool places. She's shown me a list of the people she's sent it and pitched it to, and it's pretty awesome. What she's been able to do.
So what you're saying is you're going to get real big here soon, and you won't be able to do these small shows like Paper Cup and stuff anymore.
Yeah, we don't have enough viewers.
No, I mean I'm always down to chat with you guys, and this is uncharted territory for me, man. Like, I mean, this business is so fickle. It's an honor to have some of these places look at it and consider it and hope for the best.
Yeah. So if it were to get picked up, would you want? I don't know if contracts and everything. Would you want to like adapt it to screenplay, or have you started doing that yourself already, just messing around?
I mean, I would love to be involved in the process to some extent. At the very least, like, I know you can be either in the writer's room or you could be, they call it like a consultant or an advisor, I think. I would love to be at least in that capacity.
Yeah.
I think that the timing would affect a lot of things. Like, I would be more happy being very intimately involved with the project, provided that I was in a good place with writing the rest of the series, because writing the rest of the series is my priority. So,
yeah, you don't want to do a George R.R. Martin and have the show come before your books.
No, and there's given the pace that I write, because I'm not a very fast writer, I know like the perception for a lot of people is that, hey, I released 1 through 5 like in pretty quick succession, and I did, but that's because I finished 5 before I released the first one. So it's a story that's still got a little ways left to go. There's going to be a break between it, but I think Lily is a good. It's going to be the best stopping point that there is until the end, because it is very much a finale. Like, you'll know when you read it, you'll feel it.
You said you started writing it 4 years ago, the whole series?
Yeah, I started Nightfall in January, like when January hits 4 years ago, so very close.
Nice.
To the 4-year mark.
So like I said, I feel like it wasn't that long ago because you had the first 5 books done when you started putting them out to people.
Yeah. I wanted to really, especially because I was trying to write something that was serialized as opposed to a series, and it's sort of kind of shifting between those two definitions, especially with like the varying lengths of each respective story, because I've decided that I kind of want to do what feels right for the story and not for anything else. But yeah, I did and do want to be able to control the weight between books, and even writing the first 5 before releasing number 1, the wait time for 6 got away from me a little bit, because it'll have been about 9 months or 8 months since 5's release when 6 does come out. So I really like to be able to finish the rest before I release 7, so I can make sure to do it in such a way that, like structure. I think I owe people some degree of structure in a release, ideally at least.
So are you gonna, with 6 through or 7 through 12, are you gonna write a few books before you start releasing them, or are you gonna release them as they're done?
Oh, I think I'm gonna try to finish it before I release 7. It also gives me permission to go back and revise some of those things are necessary. As you go along, you need to change a detail or two that you built upon in a way. You figure something out about a character or about some sort of like overarching plot detail, and not having released books makes fixing those things possible. So that's the nice thing.
So what you're saying is, after 6, we're going to have to wait a while.
There's going to be a bit of a wait there, most likely. I mean, it's possible that I won't be done before I start releasing. I might get impatient, and
just don't let Leslie bully you into releasing them early.
Oh God! Do you have your restraining order against her yet?
Leslie might get a beta copy or two along the way.
If she doesn't, she'll probably come hunt you down.
Have you put her in a book yet?
I haven't put anybody in a book, to be honest. I mean, it's a nice idea, but I personally prefer to save that kind of stuff for dedications and acknowledgments. Like I think there's room for that, if that's your kind of thing. But
oh no, I just want to be really like killed really bad in books. I mean, I feel kind of bad with Ross because he won't show it to me. It was under my old name. And then the name debacle happened, and I had to change my name and all. And then, I said I really apologize, and he said, "Well, it's too late now. You already wrote it." So and Laurel Hightower is supposed to be putting me in one too, and killing me off somehow. That's just what I just want to be killed off in the book.
So is this just these authors' personal feelings, or just getting out that they really
Yeah.
want to kill you?
That's what it's coming down to.
Is that why no one's killed me off yet? Because people like me and
People like
get on
you,
everybody's
man.
nerves?
the Santa hat, man.
Yeah.
This is Santa hat.
Juan, what are you writing? I know you. I saw you were like 40,000 words or something.
Yeah, you're doing.
Right, you were doing
NaNoWriMo?
I was doing NaNoWriMo, but November's over, and then I was like, well,
Next November, pick up again.
yeah, no, I'm still trying to write, but I definitely fell out of the rhythm that I had going on November. But
40,000 words, that's a lot, man.
Yeah.
That's a ton for a month. I don't think I've ever done that or sniffed that even.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just kind of write for fun. I don't know if I'll try to publish it or.
Isn't it easy to kind of just fall out of the rhythm? I mean, and Brad keeps getting on me about my short story collection, but other people have told me when it happens, it happens. Like life gets in the way, so it's kind of hard. So,
can you tease it at all, Juan? What you're writing about?
Well, it's a horror novel. Surprise.
Oh, shocker!
No.
Is
it eye horror? Brad loves eye horror.
Oh God, eye horror is awful.
Eye horror?
Like messing with people's eyeballs. That and claustrophobia are like the two things that get me.
There's none of that, so you are good.
Oh, thank you.
So it's an optometrist up close to you.
Well, I live around the border area here in California, so it's kind of a land of many borders, like U.S.-Mexico border, but also there's a lot of Native American reservations. There's a lot of different claims to the land, and there's a lot of politics around the land, around fences, around that kind of thing. So I guess the most I can tease is that it's a horror story based on that.
Sounds interesting. You should read. I don't know if you have. Check out Gabino Iglesias' stuff.
No.
Yeah, check out Zero Saints. It's incredible.
Zero Saints. What's his other one called? Coyote Songs.
Coyote Songs.
Oh,
It's amazing.
And his new one, it comes out in August called. What's it called, Jay?
So the devil.
The Devil
Brings
Comes
you
Home or
home.
something like that.
Home,
Brings you home.
Yeah.
Brings you home.
And it's supposedly Sony's going to adapt it into a movie already.
Yeah, there's competitive bidding.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking cool. But yeah,
He's a Latinx author. I think he lives in Texas, right, Megan? Because you talked to him the other day.
Yes.
She's famous. She's like, he just called me up on the phone. Yeah,
He did. And when I finally answered the phone, he said, "Megan, where's my money?" And I went, "What the fuck?" And hung up on it.
You said it was a Puerto Rico number, right?
It was a Puerto Rico number. And that number had called me every night for a week. And I just kept ignoring it because I don't know anybody from Puerto Rico. And yeah, I was giving up. But he lives in, I think, Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's amazing.
I think his isn't. I haven't read any of his stuff yet. It's on my list, but his isn't necessarily straight horror. It's more like noir crime with horror stuff thrown in. Is that sort of correct?
There's some magical realism elements in.
Yeah.
Too. I know Coyote Songs is more popular.
It's like a mosaic kind of novel, right?
Yeah. But I gotta say, it's Zero Saints all the way for me, in terms of my preference between the two. Zero Saints is like a gritty, contained, little crime novel with these really dark magical elements mixed in, and assassins and cool shit, and it's got one of the most powerful chapters on the border. the one like Coyote Songs very much deals with immigration and a lot of that stuff. And it is a very good, very powerful novel. But I think that one chapter on the border in Zero Saints hit me harder than anything in Coyote Songs. And then the rest of the story was just so gripping. That's just me speaking, like in terms of like I fucking love Zero Saints so much.
Well, I didn't realize he did like the magical realism stuff. So that makes me want to check his stuff out even more.
Yes.
Yeah. Just like it's there's just little splashes of stuff mixed in. It's awesome.
All right. Well, this has been fun. This has been great. We appreciate you guys stopping by. We don't
Translation,
this
this has been a disaster is what's right.
It's been super awesome, fun stuff, Brad. Trying to stay positive. But we don't want to keep you guys any longer for your Friday night because it's still early out where Juan and Daniel.
It's like 7 o'clock
right?
where you're at, right, Juan?
That's late
Juan,
for
you
me.
definitely need to finish whatever you're writing though, because that sounds dope.
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
whether it's a novella or whatever it turns out to be, you should finish it up, man.
You got it.
I'll do it for you.
As if people need to know, go over to Plagued by Visions channel and sub. I'm sure everyone's already subbed.
If you want.
If you like disturbing stuff,
yeah,
Juan's your guy.
He does some good acting characters.
Like
stuff
all of it. I say this
theater.
In a
and then we watch
way.
his reviews, and both me and Brad are like, "Why are we doing this?"
I'll send Jay a message like, "Juan's review is so in depth. Mine sounds so stupid compared to his."
Like mine would be like 5 minutes. It's like, yeah, I like the voice and the prose is nice, and his is like 20 minutes of the same thing. Like I need like a
Jay's
PhD
like Jay's like, this book will kick you in the nuts, and Juan's using these nice big elaborate words to describe stuff.
Tyler Jones was making fun of me because I said that about Criterion. I was like, this was like a kick to the balls or something like that. He's like, that's how I knew it was a good book. So,
he said the same thing about Mike Thorne's book. It was a punch to the nuts.
Yeah, I did. And Juan's over here like giving like a
I'm looking at
exam for.
I've got my dictionary up, find out what Juan's talking about because I'm not that smart.
So for Plagued by Visions, we got Daniel Barnett. Check out the Nightmare Land series and, of course, all of his other stuff. And
James has made a great decision. He's traded our subs. He's subbed to Juan instead.
And Meagan Lucas, of course, Songbird Stray Dogs. She has short stories floating all over the place. Record review. Let's touch on that real quick. I think somebody's looking for a T-shirt.
It's a Teespring, right?
Teespring.
Yeah,
right?
it's a Teespring. There is on the Reckon site. In the About Us section, there's a link if you're looking for it.
And Beard's daughter did the new 1 year anniversary one.
Gosh, yes. Yeah. She's amazing. And she's like 17.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's some
pretty
cool stories on there too. Just float around the website and you know, catch a.
And they're all free.
They're all free. And we're blowing up in January. You know, Beard is coming on and he's my reviews editor now. And he's organizing a book review every week. And Charlotte, who was here earlier, is our features editor, and she's organizing another column. So we're going to have 3 times the content starting in January, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Jay, you should some reviews over there.
Yeah.
See if they get picked up. Like for the Heavenly Table, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Anything that, you know, is sort of Reckon aesthetic, talk to Kevin.
I'll put a good word in for Kevin with you, okay?
Mine are just 3 words. This was good.
They're gonna. Jay, can we edit out this kick to the nuts part? Because you know that's not what we're going here for, Jay.
I don't do a star system.
And Jay's word count goes from 6 to 3 after that.
All right, shut up. All right, we're done. All right, it's been a great year, everyone. As far as paper cuts goes, you know, making up for other stuff, obviously. But for everyone who's joined us in all of the episodes. I'm being all sad. This is over with.
You were so happy it was completely over with, Jay.
I know. Oh, wait, it's not over.
Dragged you back in.
We'll be back in a few weeks with more
January.
stuff. Yeah.
Got some good people lined up in January. It's going to be fun.
But thank you to all of our guests tonight, this evening, taking time out of their busy days and joining us. We couldn't do this without the guest. Obviously, we couldn't do this without everyone in the chat and people watching later on tomorrow, next week, and then people listening on the podcast. So that's why we do it. Entertained somewhat, somehow. That's it. I hope you have a great holiday. All that fun, sappy stuff. I have a heart. See, take it away, Brad.
The Grinch's heart grew 3 times that day.
What do you want to say? What sappy stuff do you want to say?
I don't have any sappy stuff. I'm cold-hearted, Jay. I don't have that.
I know. Queen's Wave, is that what it does? Okay.
We'll say Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy Hanukkah. Happy New Year's.
I'm glad you got to see me. All that fun stuff.
Thanks for hanging out. This is our last episode of the year. We'll be back next year with an all-women episode for first one. It's going to be dope. Ladies First 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
Appreciate all the guests. Appreciate everyone in the chat. If no one watched, we probably still do it anyway.
Yeah. What else could you do on a Friday night?
Right. Yeah. But seriously, though, thanks for everyone coming. Thanks for all our guests, especially hanging out with us 2 bozos.
See ya. Stay safe.
See you guys.
Bye.
Love you, Jay. I
Love
said that
you,
before I clicked the button.